Hello, and a little impromptu off-the-cuff video here, because you may have seen on Blue Sky in the last few days that the account Antique for Geeks has had some of their content ripped off. Their written reviews on their website, and I'll put a link on the screen, have been basically nicked and voiced onto a Commodore channel, one of those channels that puts out a video every day and the scripts, well, they're either nicked or read like they've been written by an AI. And that person didn't do the right thing and fess up and say sorry. No, what they did was just lock all the videos that people identified have been nicked and then just try to carry on as normal. Perhaps by the time you watch this, it's all been solved. But anyway, what I wanted to do with this video was say that all of us running YouTube channels stand on the shoulder of giants, or shoulders of giants, because you've got resources that you use to produce your videos. And there's certain sites that I go to when I'm prepping a video to find stuff out or even get the files. And I can't do the channel without these people. And Vision, when we had the Patreon, used to donate to some of these places to help keep them running. I used to take some money out of the channel funds to do that. I can't, it's a bit harder at the moment, but hopefully can do that again soon. But I want to talk about some of them because they're good sites that deserve your support. And the first and biggest one for Vision really is, obviously, it's a CPC site, CPC Power. And it's a French site. I will put, you'll have stuff on the screen. And really, it's the search facility in here that is fascinating. It is all in French. Because obviously the CPC was huge in France, 1 million machines sold. So you can do this brilliant search where you can search out games by software, publisher, year, genre, and you can get things like cheats, pictures of the packaging, instructions. And it's why it's so important for me is because it's not just the CPC games. I use this as a good starting point if I'm going to be doing an 8-bit game, because I can look at it on here, read the instructions, see what other stuff's available by genre, by publisher, by date, and drill down. It's good for inspirational, saying, I haven't done an ocean game. Pick up the most obvious one for ages. I haven't done an alligator game, say. I'll look up all the alligator games on the Amstrad CPC and then okay, I'll play that and see if it's suitable. So it's really good for that. Fantastic site. They accept donations, so, please bung them, a few francs, euros it is these days. But really useful site. And obviously also CPC Wiki, or the CPC Wiki forums, which I've been a member of for many years. Lots of good technical support in there. I'm not in there as much as I should do, but I do lurk on their amazing forum. And we also need to mention Amstrad CPC Memory. It's another French site, wonderful interface, ACP, I'll put it on the screen. Anyway, really good for magazines and stuff like that. There's a huge section in there. You drill down, go through all the stuff, even things like CPC fanzines. It's an amazing resource for Amstrad CPC users, but also multi-format stuff in those magazine sections as well. You can just kind of go in there and browse through and get what you need. So that's another amazing site. Another big site I use, well, it used to be another site, but it's changed ownership or been reset up. If you know what's going on in the Spectrum scene or gone on in the Spectrum scene, you'll realise what I'm talking about. It's Spectrum Computing, the kind of replacement for kind of World of Spectrum, although there is another World of Spectrum now, but I use Spectrum Computing, which is a fantastic site for finding Spectrum games and downloading them from there, as long as they're not distribution denied. But you can get around that, I don't need to tell you guys how to get hold of your Z80 files. It's got a forum in there that's super useful. Again, I lurk in there from time to time. And it has links through to the RZX archive and the ZX tip shop, two big Spectrum sites that are really important for me as well. The RZX archive they're recordings of games being played on an emulator, where you can actually put that back into an emulator and start it up again and carry on playing. Or in my case, for example, the example I always give is Head Over Heels, where clearly I'm not going to be able to play all the way through Head Over Heels when I did that. So I played it as far as I could on the Spectrum, and then I used the RZX archive to get the playthrough to drop me into the game. I'd play it a bit and then start my recording, and I'll be able to play on from there in order to show the later levels. And I use that fairly regularly. If you see me in possibly late levels in games, almost certainly I've used the RZX archive. It's fantastic. A really useful resource. Brilliant. And the tip shop, again, it's got all the tips and from the magazines back in the day, and the cheats. And again, if I'm not using the RZX archive, I'm probably using a cheat to skip forward to later levels. As we come over to the C64, the main website, I do look at Lemon64 mainly to get opinions on games, because some of them are spot on, and some of them the most wrong-headed opinions you'll ever see. But csdb.dk is where I will get games from if I don't have them. Another fantastic resource, and that's super useful because they have multiple versions of the game with different trainers. And I haven't written on I've got a list in front of me. That's as far as my script goes. I've got a list of sites. Vinny Vinny, you know the guy. He does the mega hacks. He's useful as well. His stuff's done. He's the free 64 guy. He's got a website with these amazing trainers on it. Although they're actually, to be fair, they are also usually on csdb.dk. Atari stuff, Atari ST. Then the place I go is Atari Legend, because that's generally a good place to get stuff. Don't know too much about the site and how it's run, but I go there. The Amiga stuff I've generally got. If I haven't got it, I can generally find it on a site. But the Amiga Magazine Rack is a really useful site to use because it has Amiga magazines. There's nice kind of grids on there with the scores in different magazines. It's really useful to refer to. Internet Archive obviously has loads of stuff, especially if they're not games are distribution denied or something. You can generally get it on there. And the obvious one, although you need to be very careful with it, is Wikipedia. Use it as a starting point by all means to go and do some more research. But I've seen so much stuff wrong on there over the years, and I usually mention it when I'm doing a review. I've seen, because I will always look on a game just to see what Wikipedia says, but you've got to do that in the full knowledge. Wikipedia is frequently and demonstrably wrong, and even when people try to change it, wrong facts are still on there. Like my Atari 7800, they say one thing about the end of production, but actually mine's made much, much later. Anyway, useful site. Stardot for the Beeb and your Archimedes. Super useful forum. And there's Stairway to Hell as well, which I don't use, but I have referred to in the past. That's a really good site. Plus4 World. It's all coming back to me now. Plus4 World. Brilliant stuff for C16 and Plus4 games. Again, multiple versions of cracks and trainers, so you can kind of get one that works. Brilliant site. But also there's, for Vision, in terms of people I sit on the shoulders of, it's the Vision Discord and Blue Sky people and Patreon in the past, because they help the channel so much. When I can't get MAME working to do a capture of an arcade game, someone will inevitably and brilliantly and very kindly volunteer and will record something, and I can put that into the front of the video with a credit. That's so important to me, because I can be tearing my hair out trying to get stuff working, and it not working, and someone's got what it's like. You've got your MAME and your ROMs are the wrong version, and you just kind of go, why won't these things just talk to each other? I don't understand. But somebody else has got the correct versions that match, and then it all works. And likewise, people like Warren Pilkington, to pick out one name, but there's so many people who will find me when I can't get a version. An image won't load on the ST, and I've been through 6 different versions. He'll inevitably find me a version that will load on my ST. So, those people as well, you know who you are, and thank you so much. And it's important to thank all these sites and all these people, and to support them and bung them some money when they want donations, because without them, channels like mine can't do any of this. It's really important they're supported, and there's a community that, we've had people pass away, sadly, who run sites, and then sites just disappear off the internet, or, in better cases, people can jump in and make it run. And it's brilliant what's happening with the Spectrum community, where Spectrum Computing, and I think it's Classic World of Spectrum now, isn't it? Because the one that all got messed up and went, ugh. But, you know, people are able to jump in. But this is going to get harder as the years go on because we're all getting older. So, you know, if you do want a website, think about your succession plan, so to speak. What happens if you know, don't wake up one morning or something? Is there a backup plan? So all that wonderful resource that you've spent years building up is still available. There's so many other sites as well that back in the day, ftp.nvg.unit.no/pub/ all that stuff, where some of my images I use for my CPC came from there years ago. That might still work. Who knows? I think it does, actually. Comsys Amstrad 8-bit, Comsys Sinclair and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm wittering. Thank you to everyone who supports the community, enables me to make a video, and enables hundreds of other channels to make videos. Your work is so important. You are not recognised enough. And, you know, these scumbags who come along and nick this stuff and, you know, just churn out this content. And, you know, sometimes I've taken stuff. I've made best. There's a map in one of the videos. Can't remember. It might be Super Robin Hood. Or was that someone else? There's one big map in one of the videos where I made every effort to contact the person, and they'd put it on multiple websites, and I went, I'll credit it on the screen, and hopefully it's going to be fine, because it was such an amazing work, and I'm sure it's okay, but I was always kind of a bit, should I have done that? But that's perhaps a different level to people just kind of nicking videos. And one other thing this Commodore channel has taken, apparently someone spotted their Slicks review, clearly uses someone else's Slicks footage. It's hard to steal from Univision because it's all original kind of capture, so it's pretty identifiable. But it wasn't them. Yeah, it wasn't my Slicks footage. It was all this channel uses entirely emulated stuff. Anyway, witted enough, as I probably said about 5 minutes ago. Thank you to all these amazing people, and thank you to you for watching. Cheers.